And one thing I want to say too is that, you know, don't think he doesn't know what you're doing, because he has spies, and he would always say that, oh, I have spies everywhere, and I was kind of like laugh it off, but he does, because he had somebody come to my apartment. He took pictures of my U-Haul, and he took pictures and he sent them to me to make sure that, to let me know that he had people there that were his spies.
Hold up a second. That's a real scare tactic. That's like
Yeah,
that is trying to literally. That's a real fear tactic. That's what Scientology did.
yeah.
We can trace some of the things right now. What you
Wow.
just said, that is Scientology 101 right there. Taking pictures and then sending them out to the members to show them
I
like, hey,
mean,
we're watching you. Hey,
that's what he did.
Scientology tactic right there, guys.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Scientology does that.
But yeah, he that's what he did, and I was like, I just didn't even respond because I'm like, well, it doesn't matter, I'm out here. And so he knew I was leaving. Like he knew I was done playing dumb. He knew I was leaving.
It's like
But
what were the pictures gonna do? Oh yeah, you have pictures of my fucking U-Haul. So what? Okay.
yeah, he just wanted me to know that he knew,
Yeah.
even though he wasn't there. Because, you know, I had been playing dumb for a couple days because he kept trying to contact me, because he wants to know where I'm at in all this. You know,
Yeah.
well, are you against me? Are you, you know, he didn't know. So I was playing dumb for a while, you know, until I got myself out of there.
Yeah. Stalking is another trait of
So
narcissism. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a stalk. That's
but
a total stalker move. It really is. To have that just shows David wants
yeah,
to prove like, oh, this is how much control I have. These people will do anything for me. But you know what David hasn't done is showed his little bitch ass face on the channel or called in or tried to come out and refute anything we've talked about.
right, right,
Um,
right, and he probably won't either. So
and I have a question, and this is, uh, was he about like taking nude pictures and stuff? Was he about that?
oh yeah, that
Okay.
that was another thing that took me back, in the beginning, was that, you know, he started asking me for pictures, and I was like, okay, yeah. So
Mhm.
they didn't start off like really, you know,
Mhm.
nude pictures or anything like that, but eventually it got to that.
Yeah.
And you know, I was in that kind of relationship, so
Mhm. This is a
and
pastor,
there were
mind you,
other
guys.
reasons. Yeah, yeah. And see, for me, I mean, I it's not that I didn't realize he shouldn't be asking me, but it's where I was at in my life that allowed that too. Um, but on his end, for him to ask that, of course, I found out later the main reason why he does is for blackmail later on, because he knows the whole deal. He knows that everybody is subject to, find out about stuff and then leave and then speak out against him. So he prepares himself. He prepares himself. And um, if I really don't care what he does with my pictures, I don't care who he shows my pictures to. I don't care if he
You
threatens
know why he does that?
me.
Check this is why. And Lord Pender hit it on the spot. He only does that because he can't take a picture of his own shit because he can't see past his stomach.
Yeah, well, you know, I just I can't give in to the threats, um
Yeah.
because
And
there's just
it would
people's
be
lives.
yeah, it would be highly illegal for him to do that. If he released pictures of you, it's called sextortion and it's a felony. It's against the law. There it is a
Yeah.
criminal violation. People are committing suicide over this type of shit. No bullshit. I
Yeah.
just saw a story about some kid. Just saying.
You know, it's just, and it's like, yeah, I did it. I take responsibility.
Didn't you say
But
George Scott kind of made a pass at you one time too? We were talking last night. You said he kind of made a funny pass at you.
yeah, I mean, he never even like looked at me before, and then
Hmm.
like all of a sudden one time he started complimenting me on what I was wearing and stuff. And I was just like, I don't know. It just really struck me as weird for some reason. But I think looking back now, I think it struck me as weird because my intuition told me that he, if I would have responded in a way, he would have went for it, knowing that I was with David, but me not knowing that he knew, because I didn't go around him until later on. He brought me around him, I guess when he felt like he could trust me more and whatever, then he brought me around his buddy or whatever.
Okay.
But looking back, if I would have responded a certain way, I think he would have went for it, knowing that I was with him, just me not knowing that he knew. Which, yeah.
And you said something, we were talking on the phone last night. I told you me and Valerie talked for a little bit, and one thing that really struck out is you said that he lies to all the other women so they hate each other, so they won't communicate to each other, basically.
Yeah. Well, and I know that because he said bad things about other women to me. And I realize now that that was a tactic for me, because, there was one lady, and she was being kind of out with it. She was saying all kinds of things incognito that I was kind of like, wow, you sound like you're either with him or you really like him or something. And so I was telling him that, and he was like, don't talk to her anymore. She lies about stuff. And as a matter of fact, she was one that, I'll say, I'll give some grace here and say she embellished on her face-to-face testimony. And see, at the time I thought he didn't know about it. It wasn't until later I was like, of course he knew about it. He doesn't mind if people lie or embellish. He doesn't care. But that was one of the things I told him. I was like, her testimony, she really wasn't telling the truth here. And he was like, yeah, see, blah, blah, blah. Don't talk to her. That's not good, blah, blah, blah. But he never corrected it. He never corrected it. And there were other times I brought up stuff. I was like, so did that guy really, was he really dead first? He just would like ignore me, or he would just like, he never really would answer hard questions like that. Or if I because I did confront him on some things, and he just, I guess to appear not like he was being defensive, he would just either ignore it or give me a weird answer where but yeah, he lied about this woman, though. Don't talk to her, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then I noticed that a couple other of the ladies there that I was closer with, they just would distance themselves from me. And I'm like, why are they doing that? Why would they do that? I'm like I would be your best friend, okay? And it's not like you all have anybody else, or me either. So why would you distance yourself from me? I could not understand